Welcome to Nobody Panic.
Hello. Welcome.
It's our last one.
This is our last one.
It's our last dance.
It's a sort of Marvel post-credit scene.
But really long.
Really, really long, longer than the movie.
If it was like 45-minute post-credit sequence.
But yeah, really long. And because in a way, however long ago, we did a sort of, I think it's called How to Let People Down.
Yeah.
And I think it's me crying for the
you cried
for
a
the
lot.
whole thing.
And we'd come off the back of doing, I think we did 4 records that day. So we were also quite spent.
Yeah. We had nothing more to give.
Nothing more to give. And we said that we were going on a hiatus.
Yeah.
And we lied.
No, we didn't lie. We didn't lie. We didn't know
didn't
what we were
know.
going to do.
We didn't know the heights we would reach.
But we've returned from the hiatus.
Oh, yeah.
And
we just don't want to do it anymore.
We've come to the we all really enjoyed not being near each other. I feel that we had just we've come, I think, so far.
Oh my God.
From the 2 people that started
the 26-year-old children.
The babies.
Who didn't know how to do anything.
We don't know how to do anything.
And now we know how to do something.
Some things.
We're both homeowners.
We both, sorry to be like, we've done very trad things.
It's so trad.
We own houses.
We're married.
I make ice cream out of my own breast milk.
I make a lot of money.
No, I was saying like the trad things.
Yeah, of course.
With the women, they bake bread and then they make ice cream out of their breast milk. In America, of course.
Who? Like just for the people.
For who?
For their children?
Isn't that ultimately the question of the internet?
Who?
For who? Who's this for? I think it's for their children and their husband on the farmstead. It's this new trad wife.
Yeah,
you get dressed and you put on your full little Laura Ashley outfit.
Yeah. I have seen the clips of these and I've seen the discourse and I've no interest in it. So I've moved away.
Good for you.
I continued to watch, look at this otter build a dam. Why is it our beaver?
Yeah, what's
that wrong with that otter?
That otter's made of AI. That's the thing now. You see a cute video and you're like...
made of AI?
Yeah, and you think... and then you think, that otter's got 4 hands. Like,
and it's building a dam, which it can't do.
And it's building a dam, which it can't do. Yeah, that's the thing. I've got to get off the internet, and I can't.
No, and we won't.
And we simply won't.
No.
The amount of episodes we've done, the variations on trying to get off the internet, and we just can't do it.
We can't do it. But
anyway, welcome.
This is the last.
This is it.
Yes, and some of you might not have seen Nobody Panic. Well, you've
never seen it before.
Never filmed it.
Also, if you're watching this,
cameras.
there's now the fantastic Plosive who make our podcast, among many others, which we're going to name and shame in a second.
Northern News.
And Single Ladies in Your Area.
Weirdos Book Club. Carad and Sarah.
Lucy and Sam's Perfect Brains. You can't see me, but I was tapping my brain because I didn't know.
They can see you because the amount of
cameras. So there's so many cameras in
room.
here. And this had never happened when we were filming. Back in our day.
You
never had this.
There was like a GoPro and
one GoPro, and one time it was directly down my chest. Oh, yeah. Remember that? Yes. It was quite a hot day.
And one person would be lit stunningly.
Me. It was always
and
Stevie.
And the other one
I
would
looked like I was dying.
I
looked so ill.
Yeah.
People would message him very politely, but always a variation of like, are you well? Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And one time the camera was so high and my bosoms were so up.
Yeah, we were, and then producer Ben was like, I was worried that your boob would flop out at one point.
Yeah.
I was like, tell the woman
for God's sake.
I was opposite, so I couldn't see the angles from which.
No, it was real Nell Gwynn stuff once you saw it. Anyway, go back in the back catalogue, see if you can find it.
Yes.
How? I don't know. But now we look like we're on this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Britain. Loose women. We're facing the front.
Women. Panicking loose women. Brackets. Nobody. If you're coming to the podcast for the first time, it's over.
It's over. You're too late.
That's a shame.
You've missed
but
it.
But basically, what we used to do was that it would be like a how-to, wouldn't it? And wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, mate.
I'm acting like I'm on this morning.
It's so hard. Also, we're facing front.
We're front-facing.
We're front-facing. We've never done. You can't.
I don't like a front-facing knee. That's the thing about me.
Yeah, look, we're okay.
Your knee is
let's
very
face
directional.
more.
You've got a very directional.
Yeah, I
knee.
have, but only because I'm sat on one.
I do this.
That's good, and I've got your sole of your foot.
And that's good feng shui.
We're not united now. That's good. Okay.
The chi energy is really rolling off the sole of my foot to your forward-facing knee. So,
guys, we're rusty. Okay,
right, we are rusty, and we haven't seen each other in a while, so it's quite fun. So we would do the most adult thing you've done this week, and then we do how to. what we're going to do, I think today is we're going to do a...
Excited to find out.
I've just come up with it on the spot. I'm just riffing. No, we're going to do an adult thing, but we're also going to do like basically like things we've learned from over the past series. And so then if you've not seen any of the series, you can just watch this one and be like, right, well, that's all I needed to know.
Yeah, in many ways, this is the abridged. This is the full compendium.
Oh my God, it is, yeah.
But all of it. It's
a little
just
pocket book that you'd give for Christmas.
Yeah.
You also did write a book.
Yeah. If you're looking at us.
I don't know if it's still in print. Oh, it's there.
It's there. There's some. Yeah. It's in shops. I tell you why it's in shops. Somebody said to me, you've got to sign every copy because they can never send them back to be pulped. Right. So they have to remain in the shops.
You've signed every copy. You told me that and I was like, I will. And I was so close to doing it once, but I was too nervous.
It's so exciting. Go in a big bookshop, find it, and then you'll probably see I've signed it. And then, or sometimes I faked your signature.
Oh, great. Yeah,
so it's probably done.
Yeah.
But if it's not, then go to the desk and say, this is actually my book, can I sign it? And they'll be delighted. And then they give you a little sticker that says, signed by the author.
God.
And then you get a 10% discount in the shop.
What, to buy my own book? Oh,
no,
you buy other books. Okay.
And then you buy it.
And then you buy it.
No, you can buy any book.
Oh, God.
You get a special author discount.
Okay. I've just got to get over that. Why is it that I'm frightened?
Because it's so cringe. You can't think of anything more cringe than going up to a kid behind the till.
This is my book!
And saying, I wrote
don't have
this.
to say it like that.
Exactly, but that's how it feels. It's so cringe.
Yeah, I did this, Daddy.
It feels exactly like that. But once those words are out of your mouth, they are always like, oh, fantastic. Yeah, of course. Let me get the stickers.
And crucially, like, they don't care. They're just like, this is nice. They're not like, that's cringe.
That's cringe. Because if someone did it to you in a bookshop, you'd be like, cool.
Yeah.
No matter what the book was about.
Yeah, that's true. This is true. And it's a good book. What's the most adult thing you've done for the last year?
Okay, mine, I guess, is about...
personal growth.
Personal growth. I'm going to reference my clothing.
I think you should.
I am dressed today.
She's normally been nude.
It's variations on nude.
Yeah.
I am just trying to talk my feelings through on my clothing. Never been good at it. True or false?
It is true. And I hate affirming that, but it's also true.
It is true.
I can't help that.
Can't ever do it well. Went through a phase, never knew what layering was, just thought it was meant many layers.
Yes. There's a lot, we've said it before on the podcast, a lot of like dresses, a skirt and some trousers. You know, like,
yeah.
Is it?
Is it?
Yeah.
People would say, oh, the secret to looking well dressed is layers. I'd be like, yeah, loads on. I've got absolutely millions of
please.
Loads of layers, mate.
The time when you were quite cold and you turned up to record this in a full ski outfit.
Yeah,
and we're not talking
just
like ski outfit, but like for like neoprene. No, like a full,
like an 80s Barbie pink, full
like hand things.
That was the time I'd made the hand warmers out of socks.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'd cut the things off. They were fleecy
socks
socks with the things cut out the fingers, so I looked like Fagin. And then underneath that was the Vancouver 2004 Winter Olympics woolen piece. So like I looked crazy. I've never been able to do it. I remember years ago, I was walking home and a lady was approaching me down the street and I thought, that's the maddest looking lady ever. I'm going to give that lady a bit of a wide berth because she's crazy.
So something might happen.
Something might happen. I'm just going to give her a little bit of a wide berth. She's dressed insane. And
bit of detail? What sort of...
just so many bits on, like just too many... Just
like when Chandler in Friends wears all
the clothes, just like
the other way around, whatever it is. I can't remember.
Too many fabrics, too many everything.
Yes.
Just had this like slightly unhinged vibe.
Okay.
No threat. She's just a little old lady, but I was still like gonna give her a wide berth. She's got much into the beat of her own drum.
Yes, of course.
And as she came to me, she looked me up and down and went, "Lovely colours."
Oh yeah, I do remember you telling me this.
Because I had on that bright purple hoodie I used to wear. Then those two scarves, clashing of course, with loads of colours.
Like paisley.
The paisley scarves.
And another one.
And another one.
Yeah.
Layers. You got to get your layers on, Stevie. Okay, so there's this both like inherently like really poor understanding of how clothing works. But true or false, can put a costume together, have got an eye to like...
Not even can put a costume together. Like, you are second to none at doing that.
Thank you so much.
That's the way you use that phrase.
Thank you so much. And then it's like, well, why can't I do it in my clothing? And then third piece of the puzzle is I always feel that if you you look too nice, people go, ooh, hark at madam.
That's so you as a thing, isn't it? I said it before, there's a great, it's like a murder mystery party that we went to, and you were just wearing a black jumpsuit, which was lovely,
because
but
of
not
a costume, so I could do it.
But no, but even then, because it wasn't enough of a costume party. So we were all kind of wearing our own clothes, and you were wearing your own clothes, and you felt so uncomfortable in the jumpsuit. You were like so stressed because you thought you looked too nice.
And I did.
You just looked nice. Like there was someone else there, and like like Cassie was wearing some sort of like feathery dress thing and like red lipstick, and like and you just couldn't hack the fact that you looked good. That was a long time ago, and you have progressed through those. You kind of can look nice now. I've seen you in that great trouser suit that you wear. Not trouser suit. That makes you sound like a Republican. It's a jumpsuit.
I do it. Yeah. Oh, I've got to talk to the press, of course. You've got
trousers that are attached to a top, and you've seen you were wearing it at a party, and you look great. So
jumpsuit they call it these days.
It's another jumpsuit that you've worn. But so you can do it more. But yeah, I see what you mean. You do have that thing of. I mean, I have that as well. Like if I'm wearing like a dress or something, I'm like, Jesus Christ. And I don't know why.
I know. Is it like, because that's the thing, I've never ever thought about anybody else. Ooh, hark at madam, someone's got dressed. I'm always just like,
someone's wearing clothes.
Ooh,
yeah, you just go, that's a nice dress.
That's nice.
Or actually, I go, I wish I could wear something like that and not go hark at madam.
Right? I'm like, where's this coming from? And maybe it's like coming from I don't know, maybe I get it from my parents of like, ooh, somebody looks too clean to go work in the fields.
And what? Okay, yeah.
I worry that
parents are from sort of 1820s, sort of pilgrims from the north. And
it's like, why can't you be like, these are your working clothes, should you be in the fields? And these, remember, you do work in a city, so you don't have to be looking like you're field ready. Anyway, there's a lot going on for me, but the point
it might
is,
just be like a self-confidence thing, maybe. And I don't know. Oh no, I think it's field work actually for you. Actually, if we're going to say you've got quite a lot of you've got quite strong self-confidence, I think.
It's not I don't know. There's just so much going on. Then I was going to find exactly her correct handle so I can tell you who has helped me. Okay. Oh, sorry. Do you want?
You can't just be doing that.
Hark,
madam.
Shall I do that as my adult thing as well?
I think you've just done it.
Okay, so do you want to tell people, the audio listeners, what's happened?
Yeah, I can't even speak. Tessa I've bought a Casio keyboard with me to type from my laptop that doesn't work, that I'm then going to put my phone in, and my phone's a landline to help me charge my old phone that's dead. Just very casually was like, oh, I'm just going to find this handle for you. I don't know what she's going to tell me. Just flipped open the back of her phone and stood it up like she's Inspector Gadget.
Okay, so this happened to me because I shattered my phone. Of course, I've shattered every phone I've ever owned. Yeah,
it's not even stuck to it.
It's magnetic.
It's a magnetic. Okay, I've got a PD thing, but it's stuck to it. So I need to.
Does it flip out like that?
No, it doesn't. And I bought a lanyard to like help myself on tour, so that when I'm like on trains and stuff, I don't not going in my pockets and bag all the time, so I can just pick my phone up. But all my cards were in there, so my cards just fell out constantly in the road. So this is next level.
So your one hasn't got the little thing.
No, of course, I wouldn't have reacted like
no. This flap.
It does, but it's not magnetic.
Okay,
it's just a flap. I've got to get that.
Right, you've got to get that.
I've got to get. Sorry, right.
I went in the shop with my shattered iPhone to have it repaired.
Yeah,
I've shattered every iPhone I've ever owned. The man was like, right, and we're going to put this protective cover on. I was like, no, I don't need that. He was he literally was like, that's not up for debate. And so he put the plasticky thing on the front of it. Fantastic. Then he was like, go choose a case. Obviously, I chose Barbie pink.
A shell.
And it looked like of course, Stevie. Don't waste an opportunity to have a thing that's also a shell and a carrot. I'm not an idiot. Then he was like, no, you can't have that. I was like, yes, I can. He was like, no, you're having this. And he gave me a grey, sensible magnetic thing.
I've got one as well. It's amazing.
And then he was like,
chuck my phone at a wall, and
you can chuck it at a wall. It's great. It does nothing.
It looks
There's
like
not
a mouse has chewed it. So like it
certainly does. Yeah,
had its work cut out for it.
It has, of course, it has. Yeah, it's in terrible state. But that's got to throw it everywhere.
What's in great state?
The phone itself is in great state. The case is doing the Lord's work. It protects, and it's not a shell.
And then you got that showstopper on the
and then
back.
The showstopper.
Yeah, that fiesta resistance.
Is then he was like, and you're having this. And he gave me a magnetic little wallet, if you will, that
stop doing it. Honestly,
it pulls out and then you it makes a little triangle, a stand up, like a photo frame, if you will, and so it can stand up. Yeah. And then it's there. It's a little hands free. It's fantastic. And all my keys, cards are in the back. No keys. Can't stress enough. The keys are not in the phone. The cards are in the phone. My car's in there. Can have anything, and it's been unbelievable.
Yeah, it is unbelievable. I can't believe it.
There's some things you just have to pivot away from having a glittering shell.
Sometimes you can't have a glittering shell. And imagine if they made a shell that did that, though.
But he was like, no,
like a clam.
Yeah. The podcast is ending, but we are going into business immediately. There will be
Nobody
for sale.
Panic clams.
Nobody panic.
Phone card clams.
Nobody clamic.
Nobody clamic. Brackets. You can put your car in it.
Who would buy anything from these women? Oh dear.
Right, we must move on, otherwise we're not going to be able
through this
to
episode. Well, that's why it's so long.
Right, so
okay, right.
Back to
Britt Taylor, whose Instagram handle is Brittany, but BRITTAN _Y. And then, surprise, another underscore. She is a stylist, and I met her years ago doing the costume on an ITV2 show called Stand Up Sketch Show.
Oh, yeah.
But she also does personal shopping. And she escorted me to Regent Street. We did 10 a.m. till 5 p.m.
Wow.
A full day. There was some tears.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
And loved talking through my troubles. And we did a very fascinating thing in which we went to the first shop and she was like, I'm going to find pieces for you and you find what you would buy in this shop. And I found...
That's a great thing to do because then she can see the chasm.
The huge chasm. Because what I presented was this cashmere. Lovely, because I love to be soft. I love to be soft.
Yeah.
Black, obviously.
Oh, I like that.
Sort of smock to your knees. There was just the most like, I'm hidden in this.
Yes, I'm a friar.
I'm a friar.
Yeah.
I work in the monastery. Nobody look at me.
Yeah.
And to me, I honestly was like, that would be my showpiece. That would be my like, this is my best outfit.
Friar tuck's coming out.
Friar tuck would be my best outfit.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm clean, I'm smart, I'm black, I'm cashmere, I'm ready for anything. I'm a friar. And she was like, we can do so much more.
Great.
And you don't have to feel hark at you. You can just be like, I'm put together.
Yeah, I've got trousers and a top on.
And that's the thing. Me talking, you're honestly, anyone who can't see us is going to be like, wow, what is she wearing?
You came out before and went, is this too much? And we were like, no.
It's a top.
What? Are you going to bring something else out for that?
You all look at me being like, which piece are you asking is too much?
Yeah. She's wearing some lovely sort of navy cords, a lovely maroon top, and a necklace.
That's it, guys. That's it. That's my adult thing. That's it.
It's great.
Thanks so much.
Your adult thing is you did the personal shopping thing
that I've always dreamed of doing.
Yeah, that's why we can't continue the podcast because that's so adult,
isn't it? It's so.
I've got a stylist.
I've got a stylist.
We're not relatable anymore.
Exactly. We can't be. How can we make this podcast?
Yeah.
But it just feels like such a huge thing for me.
Yes.
You know,
it's really nice, and that will. You can take that forwards now.
I can take that forwards.
Yeah.
You know, I've learned a lot of things. I have some pieces. And it's a nice thing in your life being like, okay, these are the things I can do. And these are the things I definitely can't do. And being like, this is where I need help.
Yeah.
And it's okay to be like, please, can you help me?
Definitely.
You know?
I now have a private jet. I don't know. Is
that's you've come so far.
I've come so far from when I didn't have a private jet. No, mine is actually a very as the youth would say, a you-coded thing.
Oh.
So it is. Have you seen The Diplomat? It's on Netflix. Kerry Russell. It's about a diplomat.
Go on.
And Rufus Sewell.
I don't know.
Rupert. It's very good. It's and that's my adult thing. No, it's very. I'm sponsored by it. No, so it's basically she is an ambassador in the UK. and it's about her journey, like learning about what that is. And she's used to being in Baghdad in the field, of course.
But where's she from? America.
Right. So she's like,
but where's she from?
Well, where's she from? Sorry, where's Kerry Russell from in this?
Sorry.
No, I think that's fair.
Completely
the
compelled.
ambassador to what though? Do you know what I mean?
Right. So she's ambassador to America
in UK. Yeah. And she and there's a lot going on, but like a through line of it is like, you know, she has to learn, you know, how to sort of look smart, and she's just very like, I'm used to just like throwing myself around in war zones. Like, what do you mean I have to go and like I have to wear a particular suit and I have to like shake everyone's hand and look like I have to wear makeup? Like, stop that. Anyway, 3rd season. So she is with Alison Janney, or Janie, doesn't matter, and it might not even be her. And she's at higher rank than Kerry Russell's diplomat. And Alison's like panicking. She's got to do a big announcement, and she's got a suit on, but a white shirt. And she comes out. She goes like, "I look like a waiter or maitre d." And Kerry Russell just goes, "Okay." She goes into her office, as in Kerry Russell into her own office, pulls open this like drawer that's just got loads of stuff in it. She pulls out this like sort of like running top that's just like, what's that? You know, what is she going to do? She goes back into the bathroom. Alison Janney takes her shirt off. She takes the t-shirt like this. Like basically, how do you describe it? Doesn't put it on, puts it like that, tucks the sleeves into the back of her bra strap, and there's like a scoop here, puts the suit jacket on, and it looks like she's got a scoop-necked top on, tucks the bottom of the t-shirt into the waistband. The other day, I had a really scary audition that's very, very big. I didn't get it, but I didn't have a top, and I did that in the bathroom. I was like, I don't have a top, and I was running around trying to find like a nice top to get under it. I had to play like a newsreader, and I didn't have. I've just got like stuff with Kermit on it, and stuff. I was like, ah. And I was like, you know what? No, I'm going to do the diplomat thing. And so I did this massive audition with, if you'd have gone like that, you'd just seen my boobs and like everything. But I just like, it looked amazing. And someone complimented me on my scoop neck top. And I thought of you because I was like, that's a very you move of like, you came to my wedding with a skirt that was actually a top that you tied around you.
That's right.
So it works.
Wow.
Do you see what I mean about it?
Yeah, I'm visualizing it 1000%. You sold it so well. You painted a picture.
Thanks.
That's so cool.
It's quite adult, I think.
It's so good.
Because I mean, I've transcended. I suppose it's not adult if that's just like how you live your life, but I've transcended it now. So I'm like, yeah, I can do that.
When the person complimented you, did you tell them what it was?
Yeah, I went,
okay, so that was what I was going to say. And the real cherry on the cake was that you said thanks and you left.
No.
But how could you?
No, I showed that. I showed Phil Wangett. I was like just walking around just being like, look, my back's out. But only after I'd done the audition and not to the people who were, not to America. Just to the fun UK producer who was just like, great. I mean, and also I don't think I didn't get the job because of that. I think I was quite shit.
Agree.
Yeah.
No, so don't agree.
I agree.
Don't agree on that part.
No, sure, but it wasn't to do with that. That was.
I just was like,
brought it, you know.
That, but it would have been such a power move to be like, and then I just left because that's like that's not a thing.
It doesn't even faze me.
Doesn't faze me. That's like a thing I do.
I know. Well, that there's always got to be room for personal growth, and that's my room. Second one.
Yeah.
I've started using a power bank for my phone charger.
Fantastic.
And I charge it quite regularly. And
wow.
That's huge for me. And that's it. It's just really simple.
Where is it now?
Oh, it's in my bag and there's no charge. But
that's not the point.
I charged it on the train here and it just charged really slowly. So that's on
no,
the power bank.
I was simply impressed.
Yeah, no, I've got it, but
and you only have one.
Yeah, I've only got one. I need to get a better one. I bought a really cheap one to see if I could deal with the logistics. I can. So now it's time to get one that charges quickly and is actually efficient rather than one that takes 8 hours to charge.
I think something that we have discussed many times on the podcast is a sort of like buy cheap, buy twice.
Yes.
And being like, you just have to save up to be like, and now I get the.
But I didn't want to get a good one and then be like, oh, I don't like this experience.
You're completely right. You know? You've done everything.
But now I know that I can handle it. The concept of charging my phone.
I agree. It's so exciting for you.
I'm gonna get like the equivalent of that, but
yeah.
a power bank.
People are going to be screaming when that, and get one of those as well. Get all of the stuff because once you've got the gear, you don't need to. Because I have quite a psychotically Marie Kondoed a lot in my house. Yeah. Would you like to guess how many power banks I found?
Oh my god, no.
Bear in mind, like I I'm out and about.
Yeah.
I'm rushing to something. I'm late, obviously.
Yeah.
The phone's dead.
You're quite a power banky person.
I have to run into his shop, buy a power bank.
Of course.
And can I have a charger, please? And charge it on the way to the next location. You never thought to do that?
No. I'm always like, my phone's dead. Oh, well. And then I'm just like...
Then what do you do?
Well,
just lie down where you are?
Yeah. No, what I'll do is
Guess I
I'll go and
sleep
buy
here.
a phone charger and then try and find a socket and sit in a cafe. I've never
Right.
thought to buy a power bank. Because in my head, they're not pre-charged.
Oh, they are pre-charged.
Jesus Christ!
So I'm running in anywhere. I'm like, you got pre-charged power banks. They're throwing them at me, and I need to charge. And then I run.
Oh, more than 5 then in your house.
18.
18?
18.
Wow.
Isn't that disgraceful?
No, I'll buy one off you.
Perfect. They're too cheap. That's the thing.
Too
So, like,
cheap.
once you're like, I'm sorry, this is my one power bank. I charge it up. It's
Yeah.
in my bag. I'm ready to go. I'm a grown up.
Yeah.
I prepared.
I'm prepared.
I prepared.
I prepared. that's the scout.
Yeah, I
slogan.
prepared.
I prepared.
You got to just, yeah. Anyway, it's a real looking upon the graveyard of them once they were all like lined up.
Yeah.
I was like, right, okay.
How many did you get rid of?
None.
Okay.
They're all just there, sort of like.
You can't really get rid of electricals in a Marie
Exactly.
Kondo way because they are useful. You could just give them out to people.
So
we should have done like a competition.
yeah. Do you want my old power banks?
Yeah.
Do you want
Do you remember that time that you were going to do hammers as merch? That didn't happen.
Listen.
We're still waiting for it.
Yeah. It's this huge number of hammers under the bed. Massive, more hammers than you
And
can
an
possibly.
engraving thing.
And
to
an engraving
engrave
thing.
them. Yeah, and a
Very
website
expensive.
URL that you bought.
Website URL.
Yeah.
Branding thing. You can put it in the fire and heat it up to get it on.
Like a cow's rump.
A cow's rump, if you will. It says nobody panic on it. And a bevel to do the neater engraving so we could sign them.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That bevel. And now it's the end of the podcast.
That was the end of the podcast.
What a shame.
Who among us isn't thinking about the bevel I bought?
Who among us?
Who among us? Fuck me.
I'd love to learn
the
what
hammers.
bevel is. That's good. Okay. So,
They'd have to retail at, honestly, £200 at this point.
Christ, you've
The
got to
hammers.
sell that. Maybe we do a competition when you get your old power bank and then you just throw in a bevel.
We only got one bevel. Okay,
Oh,
it's a
sorry.
tiny thing to
Okay.
it moves and it engraves.
Right, fine.
It's like a pen that's vibrating.
You can
if will.
engrave the power banks with
Now
the
we're
bevel.
talking.
Just
Now
get
we're-
some electrics, and I'm sure that's fine.
That's fine, I reckon. That'll be cool.
No,
busy.
someone's calling Tessa.
Oh, hello.
Okay, so stop that. This is mad, isn't it?
Oh dear.
Are you just doing some admin?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's he want? We'll never know. Go on then.
Um,
Go on then.
Okay, so have you answered this? Okay, so I wanted to ask you because a big theme of the 17 years that we did Nobody Panic for was you trying to host a party and struggling with where to, I would say, direct your attention most efficiently. For example, we've got to have a bowl of lemons on the table for a dinner party. So when people arrive, you go, I'll just move these lemons. Rather than focusing on perhaps the meal or whether there are enough chairs.
Sure.
Just stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what then happened after we went on hiatus is that you hosted the biggest party of, it's one of the biggest weddings I've ever been to. And you did it so successfully. And I wanted to ask what your experience was with that, because I think that's one of the biggest growths that I've seen.
Oh, do you think? Don't you think in a way? So for me, when I think about the wedding, it's you comforting me by the toilets while I sob hysterically. This is not on the day. This is the Friday.
Yeah.
And then and I just keep screaming. You say, tell me how to help you. And I scream, there's nothing you can do.
But I
And
must also say, the wine is in the river.
the wine's in the river.
It's in the creek.
The
Tell
wine is-
people that the wine is in the creek.
Then a man, I kept just saying to you, everyone needs something from me and it's too much. Then a man comes past and I say, are you okay?
Yeah. You actually ran after
ran
him.
to me.
He wasn't
And
actually
he was
looking
nothing
at
to
you.
do with the wedding.
No,
It was
just,
a
he was
full
literally walking
Queen
past.
Anne in the favourite, Olivia Colman screaming, how dare you look at me? Look at me! How dare you look at me? I
Yes.
went mental. And I thought
Yes.
that was you going to say that was very on, I felt that was on brand.
No, because I don't think that, I think every single person who has hosted a wedding, thrown a wedding, had a wedding, has gone mad at some point. So I think that's like very normal. I nearly cried before mine, which was literally just like, it was just a room and I'd organised nothing, and I couldn't blow up one of the balloons. I was like, and I was like, I think we need to take a minute. I was like, I'll take a minute, and then we got a balloon blower up, and I was like, well, that's easy. And that was the only time, like, and that was such a small.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't.
No, it wasn't, because whenever you host a party, it's stressful.
Yeah,
and that was. Essentially, you recreated like Glastonbury weekend with like a Lord of the Rings tent, a Succession tent, a sort of medieval banquet tent. There was also tents from Glastonbury, glamping tents that you'd had shipped over. There was like so many generators. There was so many generators. It was like, it was so massive, and everything worked, and everything happened, and everyone had a really nice time.
Everything worked. It's actually a miracle that everything worked.
Well, it's also because you'd prepared, you know?
I had prepared. I would say the thing that didn't work was me. I did not, and I knew that was coming, that I couldn't also, as somebody...
Be a great laugh.
I couldn't really be a great laugh.
Your speech was great, and you were a great laugh. Like, no one at that wedding would say, oh, Tessa was an absolute nightmare at that wedding.
Do you think?
Like... Nobody. You very quiet, unless you were like running around crying and I just didn't see it, you very quietly had to cry behind the toilets, which like you'd also like probably, they were like wooden perfect toilet, like the best outside toilets I've ever known. Like you had a quiet cry because people were arriving and just going, what do we do, at you in cars, and there wasn't, and like that was stressful. And then also you'd thought casual drinks on a Friday, and like everyone had come. Everyone had arrived. Yeah. So then there was this kind of like, oh my God, this is more than it's like the wedding's happening now.
It did feel like that.
Yeah.
And I wasn't quite ready. And I guess Friday was bad. I just cried from start to finish on Friday because it was like, it's here, it's happening.
Yes.
And one of my recommendations for people, if people are in any way traveling, even if you're having it at home, but one relative is traveling, to do a thing the night before, because it gets a lot of it out of your system.
Well, I was going to say, it doesn't sound like that actually.
Yes, no, it is, because I enjoyed the Saturday so much more, because the Friday for me, I remember the thing that set me off was Kyle like tiptoeing through my grandma's like rain-sodden field, carrying his like Louis Vuitton bag in his like immaculate tracksuit, just looking so cool and so confused. Yeah. And I was like, what have I done? Like, why have I made people come here? Like, why did I do this?
It's beautiful.
But it felt so indulgent. It felt so... I felt so... That was it, honestly. It was like... And he was fantastic and wonderful. Had a great time. It was something about being like, I've made people come here. It felt so... naughty. It felt so like Violet, but I don't know, what's the chops from Just William? Like, me, come and look at this field.
Which is, that's what a wedding is. That's what a wedding is.
And so I do really recommend, but if that had been happening to me on the Saturday, I would have lost it. So I think it was useful to get out of your system of the like, oh my, you know, and that was actually a very, in hindsight, very good thing that had happened. And then the Friday was me crying at you. Also, you'd bought me such lovely, lovely things. Stevie had made this like box, pink obviously, and there was like different gifts, and they were all just like small but lovely things, and one of them was brushes, makeup brushes, and said, don't use these, obviously, just brush your cheeks with them, because that's what I love to do.
So I would often just like open my makeup bag, which is incredibly extensive, and just take a blusher brush and I just find her, before we'd like film like a short film or a sketch, because we used to be in a sketch group together, I just find her just like a dry brush, brushing her face,
because it feels nice.
It feels nice.
It feels nice.
Like, Tessa's brushing her face then.
She's just having a little brush, and then one of them was a bottle of water, and it said, you haven't drunk anything today, and then I cried again because I was like, you're right, I haven't.
But also you had so many great friends who were like, had really pulled together, like Kat had done like there was everyone was really like, we're in it, and it was so special. And actually the Friday was me crying because everybody I knew was in a field, and that was just completely overwhelming, and it was like, why have I done this? But then Saturday, the phrase was exactly the same. Saturday was me going, oh, everyone I know is in this field. And it was so magical. Yeah. And the Saturday morning was like a disaster, obviously. And my cousins had come into my grandma's house, used inexplicably every towel. So when nobody was taking the bride at all seriously, which is the thing I wanted. Like, I would rather that the do and the party and everything was special, rather than like, I had no bridesmaids of my own choice. And like, I didn't want people making a fuss of me, but then I was like,
I do need a bit of help here, actually.
Yeah, I'm on my own and there's no
actually
towels.
am on my own. And there was no towels, so I just found this incredibly old, very like dusty like bathrobe of my granddad's, and no longer with us. So like, what's the bathrobe doing there?
Christ, okay.
And I was on my hands and knees like a little rock with the bathrobe fully over me, so I was completely in the dark, and people were just like stepping over me in the living room of my grandma's, while I muttered to myself, I foresaw this.
Right, like
the prophecy foretold.
You're like an ancient rock.
Like an ancient rock.
Like a standing stone.
And then people will be like, don't mind her.
Yeah, that's actually expected.
That's
that Tessa would do that.
This is completely on brand.
Hey, because I thought you did have brides, so I thought that you'd be like, like cans of gin and tonic.
Gin and tonic and champagne and our pictures with the bridesmaid, and we're all dressed, we're wearing our lovely robes with our names on the back. No.
Right.
My deceased grandfather's robe, me completely nude, people striding over me while I cry and say the prophecy.
Sure.
I just had knew this was coming for me. Like no matter how much prep I put in, I was never going to look attractive and nice and like.
Well, you did. That was good.
I did look. I don't think I looked. I accept in a way that I was like, I was never going to look perfect because like my face got allergic to the long grass. I've got no makeup on. We couldn't find my shoes. And so I just had this real, fuck it, I'm going to go barefoot.
That did not look, it looked like you'd gone barefoot because that's what you wanted to do, because it's
that's
Lord
so
of the Rings
nice.
vibe. And also your dress was excellent, and you didn't look like your face was allergic to long grass.
That's nice. Okay, that's so nice.
Everyone's face is allergic to long grass. Like I don't think anyone.
No one's thinking
everyone
that.
Just burst into tears. And it's like you looked beautiful. It's like there's so many videos of you. And then you also did the thing where you changed outfit into like your cool evening outfit. Like
this is really nice to about, because I actually did have like a lot of not regret, but like a lot of like, oh, it was all it was all, why did I do it,
Right, of course.
And in a way, why?
But there's no reason. Why do we do anything?
Yeah, this is true. And it's like, why are we doing this?
Like, you could just simply not do anything. Like, you don't need to get married. Like, it's just nice
I've really
to do
missed this podcast.
See, I thought, because when we said we're going to do our final episode, you were like, I've got lots of thoughts about the wedding. So I thought you were going to have you were going to say, I learned a lot and here's how to do it.
I do have some, but mostly they're my thoughts. Me being like, I wanted to talk about it.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, it's good to get it out.
Because I did feel like that of like, there is just so much, it is so impossibly intense being a bride, and it's too mad. It's too mad for a person.
Yeah.
And it is something we've invented very recently, this idea of a bride, like in the last, 100 years.
5 years.
5 years. But like, I invented it. It's not, it's just, and we've got this like, it's something, we talked about this in How to Do a Wedding Part 1, with like this discovery as I was on the wedding journey. Number one is that things are so fucking expensive, because one of the things in the wedding industry will be the last thing on your list. And the wedding industry exists on that being for everybody a different thing. So like if, for example, the chairs are the first thing that you go and do, you go and get a quote for some chairs, someone says an insanely large number, you're like, are you fucking high? No, I'm going to buy some from the local primary school, or I'm going to rob them, or whatever. Like I'm going to
your second
guess.
Okay,
rob the chairs.
We're going to rob a primary school.
Rob a primary school.
Yeah.
No, as in like, I'll just, people will lend me the chairs, or I'll get the chairs for free.
I'll make them out of twigs.
I'll make the chairs out of twigs. Yeah. Whatever. I'll work out a smarter way to do it. If the chairs are the last thing on your list and you don't do it until a week before,
I'll fucking buy it.
Someone says the number, you say, a bargain.
Yes.
Give them to me.
Of course.
Yes, I'll pay for shipping. Somebody just get the fucking chairs. So that is how the industry survives. Like that is how it can be so expensive, because by the end you're just like, yeah.
Can you do the thing where, because what we did was we didn't tell the venue that it was a wedding. I said it was, I think they must have known though, because I was like, it's like a 30th or like a 40th. Because as I said 30th, I was like, at the time I was 35, and I was like, I don't think I can,
or like,
that holds water. Or it's like older, depending on what you think I am. But that venue is now like since sort of gone under, and I think the guy who runs it is going to be, I think he's going to be put in prison.
Yeah.
But I didn't say, because I was like, I don't, and for the photo booth I was like, it's for a birthday. Like I didn't say, because when you said it was for a marriage, this is for a marriage, they just double the price every time. Did that work at all?
Not really.
Sure.
It doesn't really work.
Well,
like it is a good idea.
In a field where the market is quite clearly a wedding, isn't it? Yeah.
So when they're like, what are the chairs for? And you're like, no reason. Like
big dinner.
Big dinner. And then like, why are they all facing one way with an aisle down the middle? You're like, that's for the dinner, mate. Don't even think about it.
How can the waiting staff get in and out without an aisle?
You idiot. Like, so it is hard. That's what everyone says, oh, don't say. And like sometimes, yes, you can do that. But by and large, like it will be apparent.
Like a wedding bouquet. And you're like a wedding bouquet because I'm going as a bride to Halloween next year.
That's right.
Yeah, that's very hard. Okay.
That's right. So I do have a few small things that are like things that
you found and would be helpful for people planning weddings.
This is my hope.
Yeah.
Will they be? I don't know.
I'm sure they will be.
One is about do whatever you want. Truly live your life. Like, you know, if this is your big moment and you want to do whatever. That's my advice is like everyone will have so many opinions about what you want to do, what they think you should do. Yeah. But it is ultimately your day. And everyone will keep repeating that while also suggesting that you do something else.
It drives me wild. That happens with every single wedding.
Yeah.
Like it's wild to watch it happen. And you just want to be like, protect the bride to be like, and why does the groom not get this shit? Like the groom doesn't get it as much at all. It's always directed at the woman.
It's always directed because we've made this very, very clear culture that's like, it's her day and she must look like a princess and she must spend thousands of pounds looking like a princess. And if everything goes wrong, she's, you know, it's all just too much. And the groom, weirdly, his job is supposed to be this like, I'm just here.
Yeah,
you know?
like I'm like a weary.
I'm a weary.
Wherever she wants.
And it's
deeply unattractive.
You see cake toppers. That's like the bride like pulling the man. Have you seen these? You know, cake topper, like on the top of the cake.
It's more like pulling the man.
Sorry, pulling the man as he like runs away. And you're like, on the top of your cake. And I'm like, who's buying that? If that's what you genuinely think a wedding is, like, don't do it. Like, don't be married.
People think that that's like what.
Or he's like holding his video game and he's being dragged by his feet.
Because he's a baby. It's like when people have kids and they're like, oh, I've got 2 kids, 1 kid and then my husband. You're like, I don't think you don't have children with him.
Yeah. What are you doing?
But also I understand it because it's like that's just an age old, you know, it's
deep but it's sort of gross
within ourselves. Yeah, very hard. I mean, I don't feel like that, but I can see we can't blame people for perpetuating decades and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years worth of.
We simply cannot.
But we can go, oh God, don't.
You can do that. In yourself. Have a little think in yourself.
Get a better cake topper is all I'll say.
Make a better one.
Yeah.
You know,
you made me amazing ones. They're still at the, in my house on our key sort of little shelf. A dog, Piper, and then and she's got a little veil on.
Yeah.
And then no, Piper's got a little
bow tie.
And then Alison Parker, my tortoise, has got a little veil on.
Yeah.
And it's really nice.
They're made out of Fimo, just in case anyone's like, but the marzipan is rotting. Yeah. What are you doing? I mean, they're still on the shelf.
Yeah, I did try and eat them, but
yeah, they're made out of Fimo. And I didn't make them. My fantastic sister made them.
Oh God, I've got that wrong.
She's the talented cake maker. I'm just here.
And I'm just Tessa.
I'm just me. So yeah, it's a sort of like empty. It's an empty thing to say.
Yeah.
To be like, do you? But like, do try. And then I only have one specific thing, which is yes, do spend the money on the photographer.
Oh, okay.
Because you'll be like, there was so many things to spend money on that you'll be like, should we? And the only thing I'm going to say. Yes, you can sit on hay bales or chairs you stole from the primary school or whatever. Like, but the photographer, people say to you, the day goes so fast. And you're like, well, I think it'll move at the speed of normal time. And then as happening, you're like, what? Am I in the Twilight Zone? Like, how can this be moving this fast? And throughout the day, my feeling that, because I did think, oh, do we need a photographer? Everyone's got an iPhone. Do we need this? The thought of thinking somebody's doing it, somebody's job is to take
so like you can look back and go, oh my God,
that bit. And so that was so calming just on the day, knowing that someone else had this under control. And then it was so special to look at it and to see things that you didn't know were happening. And like,
of course,
it is really, really nice. So I do thoroughly recommend that you do. Not for, I don't particularly, maybe that's your dream. I don't particularly care about the posed photos.
Oh yeah, I was going to say I always find that like quite funny.
Yeah.
When it's like, but you're like near a tree, like
Ooh. Also, a thing that we did, and again, like I really recommend this if you're like, I don't want to do the bit beside a tree, but I do obviously want a picture of me in my wedding dress. Is me and my husband did a
oh my God, it was so
engagement shoot, and now ours isn't for everyone because ours is a romantasy 1980s pulp cover, and he's in a kilt and a medieval kilt, and I'm in this like bridal dress. But having a photo shoot done took all that pressure away as well, because then I had no interest in me on the day. I didn't need a picture of me. I was like, I have one great picture of me it wasn't my actual wedding dress from the day, but like I have it. And I didn't feel, and I had a picture of us, obviously, and my husband, sure, he's here as well. But like I have a picture of the two of us looking nice and I'll have that forever. And I didn't need then on the day to be like, and now the photo shoot.
Yes.
So that was something that I really thought was a smart thing I'd done.
Yeah, very smart.
And then this was a bit more existential. I've tried to explain this. This will be my third attempt at explaining this.
Okay, I'm very excited.
And I've never done it very well.
Oh, gosh.
So help me through it.
Okay, I'll try.
This is slightly inspired by an end-of-life doula.
I actually don't know what that... I know what a doula is. An end-of-life doula.
Somebody does the same thing, but like the other way.
Dying.
You're dying.
You're going back in.
Back in. Pop you up. Pop you back up.
Okay, yeah.
Guiding you onto the next life.
Yes, I understand.
Or the end.
Yeah.
And this woman had written on Twitter, I was going to say it was an article, but the truth is it was a series of tweets.
Post on X.
That she's been an end-of-life doula for 20 years. And that she said, like, see, list of like things that happen at the end. And she said, tell you what never happens is that there are no deathbed confessions. Sometimes there are. And she said, I have heard a number of crimes and had to get the police involved. So people do actually admit to things right at the end. But what she said, what they don't do is when family show up waiting for the like, I love you, I'm proud of you, I'm sorry I wasn't a good dad. Those things never happen. I've done it for 20 years. But that's what the family are waiting for, is the bit from the movies where they finally say,
oh, the person dying I will now atone for this relationship issue that we had, or I know I was never good. I see, yeah. Wow, that doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen.
Oh no.
But people go waiting for that.
Yeah, of
for
course.
The big, you're right, because you're like, finally, as they're dying, they'll say it.
Yeah, of course.
They'll atone. Thank you. That's exactly the right word. They'll atone. And it feels dumb to articulate this on the other side of it because it feels quite obvious, but you have the same sort of thing when you're the bride or you're the groom or it's your wedding. And you have this feeling that like, if you have some spicy people in your life, and for me, there's 3 of them, one a friend, one a relative, one an associate.
Okay, a spicy triumvirate.
A spicy triumvirate. And weirdly, not that I'd particularly marked them all out, but in retrospect, this was a thing I had been thinking, is that they're a bit spicy. You know, I'd have to do a lot of mental gymnastics in our relationship. Like they have things not to atone for, but like it was this feeling like, but on my wedding day, they'll put those things aside and they'll show up and they won't be a shit and they won't make it about them. They'll let me have this 24 hours.
Oh no.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Like they will be the people they have been their whole lives. Yeah. They will be them forever. And those 24 hours won't make a scrap of difference to them because like the end of life thing, those people don't believe they have anything to atone for.
That's why they're spicy.
That's why you show up being like, they haven't been secretly knowing they're bad all their life and now they're going to finally say sorry for it. They don't think they're bad. And so I'd seen this in other friends, and obviously one very good friend of mine has an estranged parent who she had asked to like come to the wedding and give her away and everything. And we just said like, he's not coming, like, and still like on the day, there's her seat and his name on the seat and everything. And it's like, there isn't going to be, and he didn't come. But there isn't going to be this moment. So just in case for anybody who's like, oh, but my friend who's always a bit of a shit from school, who's like, oh yeah, but like, yeah, they're a dickhead, but now they'll, you know, they're going to be a dickhead. They're going to be exactly whoever they've always been because they aren't good people. And the people who are good people in your life are just going to be a slightly better version of that. They'll show up in their gear. They'll have done things for you because they're good people. You
did explain that very well.
Did I?
Yes. I think that's true. Like when people are putting together their invite list, like either don't invite those people, but that can also cause so
rarely
issues.
Can you do it.
And but also if you know that there's going to be some issues, I've got a friend who has a similar thing with an estranged parent but doesn't want them to come, but knows them that so well that they're going to try and turn up. Like they know they've got enough people that know when the date is. So
the opposite.
They're going to come and she doesn't want them to. And she was sort of quite stressed about it. And I have a friend who was in a very similar situation. Like, you've got security. There's just like someone on the door being like, you can't come in. And then also a group of friends that if that does happen, the maid of honor will like essentially like, what's the word? Trigger code.
Yeah, exactly.
Like whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Code September. It's a go.
And then they all just go and they just sort it out away from
you.
bride.
You have
You don't
That's
have to
so
go,
good.
oh, my dad's turned up and I'm sad. So I think those things, like, then you can't be let down if you're going into it going like, well, maybe this time they won't do how they
Totally.
You won't be let down. You'll just go, of course, that was going to happen. You know, obviously that would happen. So then you can deal with it in a slightly less, you can be less sad and disappointed. You can just be like, oh, of course, right, I'm not fucking dealing with this.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And it feels like very naive of me that I like.
No, I think it's just a nice thing because you're like, well, like, you know, you were looking to see the best in these people rather than being like, I bet they'll be shit, which is not very nice.
It's
way
not
to go
very
about
nice.
your
No,
life.
because you think
you want to think the best of, in people. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a wedding I've been to where I've known the bride very well and there hasn't been something like that. Like just like a friend that you're like, she always one-ups me all the time, and like. There's one I've got a friend who has a friend from uni who just has to make it about her constantly and clearly has a problem with my friend. Like clearly specifically is like, oh, she's so great. I've got to. And this is not a joke. On the wedding day, my friend got photos with her husband. That girl is in the background just like swimming around.
Swimming?
Yeah, it was like by like a river. She got in the river and started swimming up and down in the background to be in the photos, like pissed out in her full outfit. Like, how did it, like, what do you do? She couldn't help but one up. Like, she just couldn't help it. So we all had to
That's awful.
drag her out, and like I had to spend quite a lot of time with her in the, like, just away from my friend, being like, no, you can't go back into the party dripping wet. Like, when she's like, it's fun though, isn't it? You're like, no, it's not.
No, it's not, because it's not your day.
Yes. And then when my friend found out, she was like, oh, for God's sake, of course she did. But like, it's that, like, if you've got, they will just act. What is the quote? People will show you who they are. And so
believe them.
And when they come to your wedding, they'll do it.
They'll do it. They will. Just so exactly, just prepare. Don't have any sense of like, oh, don't have any hope.
Yeah, don't have any hope at your wedding.
Don't have any hope, for God's sake. Just be like, yeah, this person who always starts a fight, we'll start a fight. This person who does this, we'll do this. And this, you know, this person who gets in the river will get in the river.
Yeah, she'll try and one up. Yeah, or this grumpy person will be grumpy. You know, like a judgmental person will be judgmental. Like,
there's nothing you can do. So to like already get yourself, try not to be like despairing about it, but to be in a calmer place of like, they will. Here are the small measures I've put in place.
Yes, the small measure, you can remove them.
I've removed myself. This is my prep. These are the people who are prepared for this. They're not allowed to come near me, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very good. And any more tips?
I guess my last one is, people write all over the tips. It constantly says, make sure to have a moment to just check in with you and your partner. Nah.
All right.
No, people have come from Scotland.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I understand, right.
I'm going to see him for the rest of my life.
Well, you actually did fly out immediately after for like 3 months.
Yeah, it was dumb. Yeah, it's dumb. I immediately left the country. I should have spent more time with him. Sure.
But yes, you are.
Sure.
Yeah, you are gonna spend the rest of your life together.
I don't know. I just think like, if that feels nice to you, do it. But like,
it's not necessary.
I was like, what a weird tip, because I did read all the tips and I was like, that's such an odd one. I was like, yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
You're marrying him.
That's funny. I like that.
Just let everybody have you just let everyone, you know, you're so excited to see so many people.
Yeah, and there are so many people there that you're,
My husband was the last on my list. Don't want to hang out.
Quite frankly,
no interest. No, he's nice.
But you'll see him at the end of the night.
You'll see him at some point.
The next day, fine.
Yeah, but I don't know. And I've got one thing, which is about DIY. If you have to enjoy the concept of DIY. A DIY wedding.
Oh God, I was like, I don't think that's true. A DIY wedding.
Sorry. You have to be people who like the idea, like planning, like doing things, like making stuff yourself. If you do not do it.
Yeah, get someone.
Just get someone in. Jesus Christ. Don't feel this like, oh, we should. No. If you like, oh, I am excited to plan this.
Yeah, I'm good at this. I'm good at project managing. So yeah.
Yeah. Our champagne glasses cost 50p each. They are crystal champagne glasses my mum had bought from a car boot sales over the course of 1 year. Wow. And then when they broke, we'd all be like, not to worry, just a crystal. Like, don't worry about that one. But they're all obviously like mismatched. But in order to do that, you have to enjoy going to car boot sales and antique
For
fairs
a
and like
year.
looking for crystal, you can't do that under duress.
No,
You have to. So like everybody in my house,
can't, yeah.
don't do it.
Yeah,
Obviously just order those in.
Yeah.
Like just
Yeah, that's so funny.
So don't force yourself. Be like, oh God, but they had the champagne. Don't do it.
Yeah, just do the things that are in your
That
wheelhouse.
bring you joy to do it. And equally of like making some like I don't care for flowers particularly. So like the idea of like making a big flower arch, I'm like, wah.
Yeah, an arbor.
No, thank you. Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
an arbor.
Arbor. Yeah.
But some people might be like, I can't wait to make the arbor.
Yeah, that's
I've got
the best
ideas.
bit.
I've got this. I
Yeah.
can't wait to do that. I'd be like, I'd be under duress doing the arbor. So just know what you like and you don't like, and don't feel obliged to run towards your joy.
But I think that's a very good tip in general.
Run towards your joy.
Just do, yeah. But that, because I was going to say that's like what I've learned the most about doing this podcast is deep existential things. When I think about the episodes that have like made me be like, oh, it's the like there was one where we did. I think we must have been we must have been running quite low on ideas.
Sure.
It was like how to have a bath.
Yeah.
Turned out to be quite
Really intense.
Yes. So I didn't like having baths, and it turned out that like I just thought I had to have baths in a certain way. It sounds mad, but then when you kind of dig into it, it's not like. You can kind of extrapolate it out to anything where you feel like you should be performing to a level life-wise. And if you're not, then you're sort of not doing it right. Like cooking or like anything where you go like, well, I'm bad at it, so I'm just not going to do it. I don't want to engage in that. And with the bath thing, it was that like, yeah, I would get in and be like, I'm on too hot. And I can't look at my phone because I've got to have like a scented candle and like a book or something. And I'm like, well, I'm bored now. And then I'd get out and then I'd feel like this isn't for me.
But also, is it true or false? You would get in it empty and nude and then fill up the water. Is that right?
No.
Okay.
No, I definitely didn't do that.
Okay.
I mean, I think I've probably done that once in my life, but not. Because
there was something about the getting in not being quite right.
Oh, yeah, I would just get in without testing the water.
Testing,
like it's too hot.
You didn't test. Yeah,
yeah,
you
so
weren't.
like I'm burnt now.
Yeah, I'm burnt.
Yeah, I burnt myself. Yeah. And yeah, I know. And also staying in, I'd be like, well, in my head, for some reason, I didn't realise I was doing it until we did the podcast episode. I'd be like, well, you got to do like minimum half an hour. It's like, who said that?
Who said that? Yeah.
Do 15 minutes. Like you would say, I have a half bath and I've got all my clothes on and like a hat on.
Sometimes you want to warm your legs up.
Sometimes you just want to warm your legs up. But you'd say, well, I quite like baths. Whereas I'd be like, that's not a bath. That's like
that doesn't count.
Cowering in some water with a hat on. But that is a bath. And also like, what is a bath? What is a bath? But now I've become like a bath person. I now know that in summer I kind of don't really bath that much because I'm quite hot.
Sure.
Whereas in the winter, oh my God, it's an absolute joy when you're cold.
That's so nice.
And 15 minutes. And also if I want to scroll on my phone, I absolutely can. I'm trying not to scroll on my phone more, so try not to. But I can.
That's allowed.
I got a little tray.
Perfect.
And like it's all but that it's not just about the bath. It's like it was about like my feeling of constantly not meeting a certain standard, which I now see when with the great perspective of hindsight, going like from 26 to 27, we started the podcast. Maybe it's been 10 years to 37. Being like, oh, that's the thing that's changed the most. I mean, I still do it, but I'm aware now that most of my problems are because in my head I've gone, well, that's not good enough. You got to do better than that. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
Why?
That's not good. And also, like, you've got like this real sense of like, these are the rules.
Yes.
And therefore, like a bath takes half an hour. You must have a candle, and you can't look at anything for your own thoughts. Like, and like,
why?
And you're like, where have we got these rules from?
Yes.
It does like so much of life. You're like, you can really do life however you would like.
Yes. And what parties, throwing a party is the same of like, well, in my head, it's this. So anything that falls below that, well, that's not good. That's wrong.
That's not good.
It's not worked. It's failed. Or getting dressed. You're like, well, I should look like this very specific image in my head. Otherwise, I'm bad at getting dressed. Because you actually weren't bad at getting dressed. Because I know people who dress way worse than you dressed.
Who?
I can't think of them
anyone.
right now. Okay, there were some moments where, sure, you were probably the worst.
Someone.
Well, no, there are people that look mad, but they're like, yeah, this is what I like to wear. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's a sort of like where like, oh, you go to somewhere like Margate or Brighton or whatever, and people are wearing like clashing colours, dungarees. Like, and
sure,
that's not my vibe. It's a look, and yes, okay, they're not wearing like 12 dresses all over, but like if you were living in Brighton. I don't know why I picked Brighton. I was there on Saturday and I was like, oh yeah, there's quite a lot of bright colours. But like, if you'd been like, this is how I dress, and I'm cool with that, and that's my vibe, you would bring to it.
But that's the thing, is I wasn't dressing like that.
Yes.
I was saying, don't look at me. I'm
exactly.
a monk.
So it comes from within. Like it's always about your like. It's always about your own confidence or your own inner thing is the issue, rather than the actual clothes you're putting on your body is not the issue. It's the context around it.
Wearing your jogging bottoms was a way of being like, well, this doesn't count, obviously. Like don't judge this outfit. This is obviously not one.
If I was trying, I'd knock out the park. And then I'd be really embarrassed about it because I'd be like, hark at her.
Yeah.
So I can't win. I've tracked myself.
Exactly. Like
in cloth.
I have to dress like this because it would embarrass you if I dressed well, because I'm so good at it. Like, that is crazy thinking.
So it's actually so much self-confidence. Because like if I got dressed well, it would blow your fucking mind out.
No one could do any work because I'd look so good. Like, that's crazy.
It's
God.
so funny. We are sort of opposite ends in that sense of like, I'm like, oh, I'll do it bad, and you're like, I'll do it so well, you'll actually have to go to hospital.
Have to go to hospital. I think that, oh God.
But it is helpful to know, like I found that very helpful to, in my life, I will look back and go, oh, you're doing that again that you've talked about on the podcast. You've been like, is it about that? Basically nothing, whenever I'm upset about something or stressed about something, often it's not that, it's something else.
It's something so different. As we constantly talk about, the body keeps the score. Something is always like, oh, this hurts. But like, is it? Or is it something else in your body? You know, is it like you, similarly to being like, are you stressed about this? Or is it actually a much bigger, totally separate issue that you're focusing on this? But really it's...
Yeah, you're crying about that, but it's not about that. It's about the thing that happened 5 days ago that you've
It's nothing to do
just
with that.
put away in your brain, and then it comes out in like an odd way.
We're fascinating.
I think the human species.
That was the we, obviously.
Right, okay. Like we are. Like, don't know.
Tell you who's fascinating, me and you. No, humans. Like, wow. And the brain. Okay, so my one that I have been thinking on a lot in the last year is our how to stop people pleasing.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe our episode was called How to Please People. No. How to stop being a people pleaser?
I feel like it sounds like we probably did that one. I don't know. There was an assertive one.
There was an assertive one. Really, there's been a lot of, we've really circled the block on some on some big ideas that I had a lot of, like, I guess the academics for, or the, what's it called when you do your...
hypothetical.
Yeah, what's it called when you do your license before you do your
theory.
Theory. I had a lot of theory, but not a lot of, no practical, in fact. So like I knew the idea of it, but I'd not put any of it into practice. And the people pleasing for me, I've been doing this job, and the job involves
a massive Amazon Prime show.
It's massive. It's actually
show running.
I've been show running a show for Amazon Prime.
Gigantic show that you've also written.
It's actually breathtaking.
Yes, it is. It actually is so massive. It's so funny.
It could only be funny. Yeah. At one point, we filmed it in Prague for 9 months. At one point, we stood in this plaza, and there was like, things are blowing up. People are like, there's guns going, like there's police chase, like there's like so much stuff happening. And I stood in the middle of it, and I was like, I've never even made a blap. I've never done.
A blap is a Channel 4 comedy short that you get paid like £2 for.
You get £2 for it, and it
doesn't really go anywhere.
They were 3 minutes long, and like, I've never done anything.
And you've gone from zero to that.
I went to zero.
To Octavia Spencer. It's being blown up. I don't know if she does get blown up.
Spoilers.
I don't know if she does.
Octavia Spencer explodes in the middle of the plaza. It was mad. Yeah. And sometimes I look around and be like, who's in charge? I'm like, it's me. I'm like, don't let me be in charge. I'm an idiot.
No, well, you're demonstrably not. So the people-pleasing thing.
The people-pleasing thing was every stage of it. So this process has been a writer's room, then moving to Prague and going into pre-production, then production happening, and then post-production. There's 4 stages of it. At every single stage of it, every time I meet new people in their new job, I weirdly immediately assume they're fantastic at it.
Of course, because they're American.
Mostly because they're American, and they say they're fantastic, so that does it. And I'm always like, oh great, they'll know more than me. And so that's a sort of sidebar, is I've got to get better at being like, prove, don't like immediately be like, oh, don't worry,
Yeah, they're
let them prove that they're good to you. Because I immediately was like, I just kept saying I'll be shit at everything.
Right.
And then actually like took me a while and I was like, oh, actually you're very bad at this. And why did I tell everyone I was shit? So I had to like learn to stop saying that. Very British
That's
thing.
number one, how to be assertive.
No,
don't walk into a room and go, I'm shit,
I'm
by
shit.
the way.
Like genuinely on day one of the table read, when the actors first arrived, I said to everybody, don't worry about these words, they're rubbish. And that's what I said. And I was like, say whatever you want. And then we actually, it's crazy. And that's a real thing I said. And I meant it. I meant it so sincerely because I was like, you'll all be so much better at this than me. And then when we started, I was like, oh, yeah, say the words.
Yeah.
Say that somebody thought about them. Do say them.
Yeah. You've had a writer's room that other people have written
People
them
have
as well.
thought about this. Like, don't. I know, but that's my fault. And then again, everyone constantly being like, I'll be shit. And then be like, what am I thinking? And then the thing about the people pleasing was that people would bring me props or things or set decoration or a piece of music or anything that so much work had gone into and was completely wrong.
Oh, right.
And my instinct at the beginning was to be like, love that.
We'll find a use for it.
And even like in the writer's room at the end, people would say an idea and in my head I would think, I hate that and I hate you. but what I would say is, love, in it goes. Love that. Let's go to lunch. Like, because
love that, love you.
Love that, love you.
Let's get married.
Are we?
I totally understand that.
I just wanted people to put so much work into it. And I didn't feel that I could say it was bad unless I had a better idea. And I didn't feel I could shoot somebody down if they'd done all this work. And then the only thing that made me change is that it felt like the show and what I was trying to do was more important than people's feelings, but also that it was possible to say something was wrong and it not be like, you're a piece of shit and I hate you.
Yeah, it's not offensive. You're just giving, it's part of it.
Yeah, and to remember that like they're not a volunteer, like this is somebody in the workplace and part of the work involves maybe we have to do something again. Yeah. And so there is a space to say, when someone gives something to say, thank you so much, I can see so much work has gone into that. It's not completely right and we're going to go again.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay.
Yeah, because they're used to being told that.
To be told that and like everyone just said, okay.
Yeah.
And sometimes it was annoying, so like, ugh. And then like the worst it would ever be was someone said, ugh. And I'd be like, I know, ugh.
Yes.
And we agree.
You don't want to, no, yeah, of course, yeah. You don't want to be that person saying no as well.
Yeah.
Like no one wants to, and
like,
that's good.
I heard somebody use the phrase, I can really see all the instincts here. I think you've done amazing work, but I don't think we're going to produce our best work if we continue down this path together.
Oh, wow.
And you're like, fucking hell. Right. Okay, let's not go down this path.
Yeah,
you and me.
I don't want to.
I don't want to. Who thought this path was a good idea? Like, so there are these like eloquent ways that isn't me going, love it, and we're married. And also you don't have to say you're a piece of shit because you're not. You're a good, nice person who's made something that isn't quite right. And so it became this idea that I felt like, it felt to me like I had a baby and a royal nanny, one of those nannies that wear the beige and the buttoned up thing. You ever seen the royal nannies?
Enough with the royal.
I understand.
With the royals. Yeah.
Okay.
I can understand that though. There's a royal nanny and she wears beige.
She's beige. Oi. But they are ladies.
They're all ladies.
But they wear these sort of like just such a demure. They look like they're in Peter Pan. Like they couldn't look more like turn of the century.
Okay.
Little collar, pushing those like Victorian prams.
Right, okay.
So, and they go to this special nanny school for 5 years. And I only say this because it felt like somebody like that showed up, to which I was always like, oh, well, you'll be fantastic at this.
With my child.
Yeah. So I hand them the baby and then they turn the baby upside down and they're like, it's meth for tea. I'm like, no.
The baby's smoking crack.
And I'm like, no. And any instinct that's in you of being like, I'm sorry to be rude or no, okay, you must know better than me is gone because you're like, that's a baby and it's smoking crack. Yes. You're like, give the baby back. And so like something just has to be more important.
The stakes are higher.
The stakes have to be high.
The money that's been gone into this show is so massive. You don't want the show would crumble if you, I see what you mean.
It wasn't
you like a crash course in the people pleasing them.
It was just an absolute baptism of fire of like, this thing is too important. I've tried too hard. Like that isn't what we're trying to do. Yeah. And it because it became about like, I have such a fascinating journey about comedy because I was like, oh, comedy, schmomedy. I was like, everyone we know is funny.
I see what you mean. This will be really easy.
Everyone
will just know. And then you're like, when you work with an amazing actor who's like incredible but can't
do a joke,
you're like, God, good Lord. God, so it is a skill.
It is a skill. I was really like, I was like, oh my God, it's so precious. It's actually, it is something I was very like, oh, everyone's funny.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I see. And then therefore I had to be like more across. I was very respectful of comedy in a way that I did not go into it with any respect for comedy whatsoever.
Oh, That's nice.
I've come out of it. I think comedy is...
You've come out of it. You've got your trousers.
I've got trousers on.
You've understood the people-pleasing situation. That's really good. You can become more assertive.
I've become more assertive.
In an American, articulate way.
I
like that.
And I think comedy is precious. Our most precious resource.
Our most precious resource.
I really do.
Great.
It is amazing because honestly, I was like, oh, but drama. Like, and now I'm like, oh, anyone can cry.
I don't think I can, but like I can give it a go.
I'll punch you.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
No, I'm not.
Stick a Mentos in my eye.
Yeah.
Stick a soft minute
see,
up there.
Crying.
I'm crying.
Now you're crying.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not to shit on drama either. I'm sure it's very talented.
Very talented.
Sure.
But no, jokes are very difficult too.
Jokes are difficult.
Yeah, if you're not naturally funny. People are naturally funny, aren't they?
Yeah.
I don't know anyone who is, but I'm sure there are.
I feel like everyone we know is funny.
I'm joking.
Oh, right, okay.
Because that's making a sort of like implying that you're not. I mean, you obviously are. You know. I'm not funny.
I've got better at it, but
I made a joke and it was bad.
I'm sorry, that is a leftover problem from mine that I had to have a no jokes on set policy.
Oh, I completely understand that.
Because people would come and say the most insane thing I'd ever heard. And I'd be like, are you joking? They'd be like, no. And I'd be like, and so then when someone did do a joke, I'd be like, absolutely not.
Yes, I can't tell.
We don't know what's true and what's not anymore.
Yes. It's like, yes, but I've had very little experience on a set. But when I'd had my first proper one this year for like 6 weeks, and I just sort of casually said, at 11 o'clock, someone had brought a bowl of melon, and I went, oh, 11 o'clock, melon time, love a melon. And then every day at 11 o'clock, I got given a bowl of melon every single day. And I didn't want the melon. And by the end of it, I would hide the melon in like pot plants and stuff because I didn't want them to see that I hadn't eaten the melon. They just specifically got me. And every time I went, it's melon time.
Oh, Lord.
You can't be flippant, otherwise you'll eat so much melon.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you feel there was any space in those 6 weeks that you could have said, thank you so much, and you know what, I don't think I need the melon again tomorrow.
So because it's my first experience of doing that.
Of melon.
Of melon time, which is what I'm going to be calling people not making a joke flippantly is now melon time. Firstly, if I ever do like a job like that again, I will not be so flippant with my comments. But also, yes, I would feel comfortable now. But it was just because it was my first job. And
of course.
I had a lot to think about. I was just like, I kept forgetting to be like, can we not do the melon? Also because as well, as it got more fraught for the last sort of 3 weeks when it was like, are we going to get everything? The runners were so everywhere that there'd just be a bowl of melon. And
no one to tell, no melon, thank you.
No one to tell.
Oh my God, but it's on someone's list of instructions of being like, Stevie must have 11 melon at 11.
Melon. They saw me buying matcha, they're like almond milk matcha coffees from a cafe near, like we were in a studio, we were filming in like the studios in North London. And that place has a cafe. And I bought a coffee and they were mortified that I had to buy a coffee. So then someone bought matcha and taught themselves how to make matcha. But they didn't do it, they couldn't do it particularly well. But I loved that they did it. So I just drank like quite bad matcha every morning. It was very sweet though. But it is like, oh gosh, right, you've got to be really like, you can't make jokes flippantly when you're in a work environment because some people will take that seriously and you've got to know, you know, when you're working and when you're not. But people pleasing wise, I think going forward I would be able to do that. That's
very brave of you.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't mind. They'd just say, okay, great.
Okay, fine. Thank God I don't have to make matcha.
Matcha.
And melon every day.
Dripping in sweat thinking about this melon.
Dripping in sweat,
It is an interesting thing that like someone being like, oh my God, we got to get at this. Because you do think sort of like, why is there this sort of crazy, you know, an actor needs everything, an actor must be treated like a child. Why did we have to get her a melon? Why is someone freaking out and giving me all these things? And then I now know the answer to that question, which is that, so you're doing in your show, in whatever you're filming, you have however many hours a day, 10 hours of filming, after which you're not allowed to film anymore. That's it. You done. You pack up. And so if your actor is wandering off buying their own matcha or hasn't got the melon they want or is unhappy, then your job is not to be like, get your fucking act together. You're a fucking grown up. Make your own fucking melon, you fucking bitch. Or whatever you might want to say to them. For example.
Wow.
Your job is to be like, is Stevie happy? Where's her melon?
Yes,
Get
because
her
if
to...
she doesn't have a melon, she'll go wandering off, and then we might need her.
Yeah.
And she's on a hunt for melon.
She's on a hunt for melon.
As we know.
Keep her happy.
Yeah.
Keep her here.
It does mean that you are treated like a big baby.
You're treated like a big baby
Like,
because...
at one point I was like, I'm quite... And someone was like, water! And I was like, oh God, there's water. You've got a dry mouth. Ah! And you're just like, it's so evident. Like, people offer to hold things for you all the time. And then you're like, no, I can hold my own things. And then I get to the set and then I just lose everything.
Exactly. Because it's not, it is way more important to us that you don't lose your props, that you aren't gone, that you aren't shitting out a melon, that you are like... And
or it wasn't even props, it's like my phone and stuff. And
exactly.
Like, I've got my phone, I'll just put it there. Where's my phone?
Yeah, so
and,
now
it goes off during
we're,
the thing.
and now we're thinking about your phone. And so it becomes this like...
So you have to be treated like a little baby.
You have to be treated like a baby. Because you're a baby. And because the answer is because everyone's in their interest is not for your behavior to change or you to be a better person. Their job is for you to get to things, say all your words, and everybody go home.
Yeah, that is my job, yeah.
And being like, whatever can get her there.
And
words,
it's melon.
And it's melon. Whatever
She's
can...
fueled my melon.
Look at this. Melon.
It's 11 o'clock again. Yeah, crazy.
We'll do it.
Another great relatable...
real relatable stuff from us.
When you're on set, don't be flippant about melon.
You mustn't, guys. We've said it 100 times on this podcast.
Just constantly being flippant. No.
Yeah.
And people pleasing is a good. That is
This is how this started.
Yeah.
And now we're fruit. I have one more about. It's not about people pleasing. It's about assertiveness.
That was an eye-opening one because we learned on that episode that assertiveness, it can be just about like going, oh, I don't mind where we go for dinner, wherever you want. And that's actually not helpful because you're not going, you're actually being a burden, but you don't want to be a burden. That's why you're going, oh, I'm easy. Yeah, that was very helpful.
That was a really good one.
I think about that a lot. I do too. I booked it.
And it's Wagamamas.
And it's Wagamamas.
But it is, yes, you're like, I'm, don't worry about me. But people are like, okay, but you are not helping. Now you're putting all the burden on me to choose the restaurant.
And to figure out what you want as well. And like, yeah.
So could you?
And you are as well celiac. So that you actually do have a dietary requirement. So you're like, don't worry about me. And then it's like, we've picked bread. The bread restaurant.
But there'll be a salad on the menu. And truth be told, I'm just happy to hang out.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, actually, there is an element of
The thing is, like, do just like to be had, and also the pressure for me. But then it's like that's a real pussy move to be like the pressure for me if I picked it the entire meal. I'm just thinking, is everyone enjoying this thing I picked?
Yes, of course.
Are you enjoying this restaurant?
Yeah, Wagamamas. Do
you like Wagamamas?
Okay?
Is this seat okay?
Is this seat okay?
Is everything to your liking, madam?
Yeah.
It's just not a healthy space for me to be in personally.
So you don't offer suggestions of restaurants because in case people are like, well, this is a shithole.
That's my big fear, but I've got to get over that. And so if people are, I say to somebody, do you enjoy choosing the restaurant? And if they say, yes, I love it, then I'm like, go with God, I'll go whatever you pick. I'm excited to see your choice. If they're like, no, I hate it, I'm like, okay, well, together we'll work through this.
Yeah, here's some options.
But I ask, and then I love when they say, no, I love to think about restaurants.
Yeah, it is nice.
I'm like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, that is good.
A person with a place in mind.
Because I'm vegan, I feel like I have to be the person that picks so that people aren't going, oh, you have a vegan option. And I will always, and I've had to stop myself picking like an option. It's like, well, that's nicer for everyone else. And I've got one meal there that I don't really want, but I'll have that. And you're like, no, you are a person in this world.
You're a person in this world with limited time.
Pick.
You must.
Yeah. Yeah, you must.
You must.
Whatever you were going to say.
What was that?
Yeah, it worked. Or restaurants that are really convenient for other people location-wise. I do that all the time. I'm like, this is right by your house. And you're like, I live 2.5 hours away. And I'm like, off I go. And then they're like, and then I feel really like, oh God, I've got to leave early because obviously I travelled for so long. Like, why have I done equidistant? Or come to somewhere near me. But I never do that. I don't live in London anymore, but when I lived in London, I would never, ever suggest somewhere in South London, ever. Because they'd be like, no one wants to go there. So I was constantly in North London being like, oh, this is a nightmare.
This is a nightmare.
I'm tired. Very silly.
What have we learned from that?
Oh, pick Central London, which is also a hellscape. But you kind of have to...
Right. But did you do that? Did you become a pick Central London or did you just always do
I just moved out of London.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I guess...
It's not really a learning curve. It's more like maybe people listening will be like, oh, I do that. I'll stop doing that.
Yeah. I guess... Check in with yourself to be like, do I always travel because I want to be easy breezy?
Yeah.
And no trouble.
Because you can alternate.
I will say, if you've got a psychotic desire for easy breezy, you probably don't need to panic that people ever think you're a burden because you obviously do always travel, you know?
Yeah, of course.
The people I know who don't, I'm like, that's not a thought in their head.
Right, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So Anyway.
No, you had a point about
assertiveness. I had a point. It was about assertiveness. I think it was this. And again, this is a specific one about my job. So it's quite tricky to be.
Yeah, we can extrapolate it out.
But I do think it is, I will say this one is starting a new job.
Okay.
Or being slightly higher up than you should be.
Okay, like impostery, feeling
impostery. But it wasn't even imposter syndrome in the sense of like, oh no, I feel like I was like, this isn't imposter syndrome. I like legitimately I'm unqualified for this.
So the episode title will be like, how to cope with when you've been given too much power.
Yeah, how to be given too much power. And being like, okay. And I honestly, I wasn't imposter. I was just like, you've all made a mistake. but I'm doing my best here. I would, in meetings, a lot of words I had never heard were being used. And I did not want to stop the meetings to constantly be like, what's that? What's that? What's that?
Okay.
So I would allow myself one question per meeting. I had a rule. And then every other word I didn't know, I would write down in my notebook. And then I would ask.
Someone sees your notebook.
Yeah.
You've just written down loads of big words in it.
They honestly. And it'd be like, what is? And I'd be like, she's the boss. And
what is film?
Yeah.
What is show?
What is show? Like, truly.
What is Amazon?
Well, like, what? Yeah. I mean, we're laughing, but like...
No.
Yeah.
What sort of words were we talking about here? Jargony?
A lot of jargon, a lot of TLAs, 3-letter acronyms.
Oh, God.
A lot of things I'm like, what the fuck does that stand for?
Yeah.
And then I'd have a guess, and then but I wouldn't say them out loud, but I'd like think. Like, try and do a lot of like context clues, a lot of verbal reasoning basically with myself in these meetings, like trying to guess, trying to like keep up. And I would allow myself one question per thing. And then I would ask, and then what turned out to be incredibly helpful, and again, this is simply luck of the draw, whether you get one of these, is to have a really thick man. You need like someone who's really shit at their job.
Yeah.
Also in the meeting.
Okay.
So like, and you're like, oh, if he's going to say stuff, like, I'll say something. If that's the bar.
Great. So inner scapegoat.
Yeah, you need a private scapegoat that you're like, wow, that was thick.
So I can now, so my thing won't sound so thick.
Well, it won't sound nearly as thick. And so it's just, it's weirdly the thing I was.
We can.
I just am like, if you haven't got someone thick, but I don't know how.
Bring one in, like buy
but
one.
I bring one in.
You know.
I don't know how many jobs though, people, after a while. I mean, do we know anybody who says, oh my God, everyone I work with is a genius?
Oh no, I think this is maybe the most relatable element of your job.
What I've said so far.
The only relatable thing about your job is that like you'll be in a meeting and you might be like, I just can't, and then there's some thick person going like, oh, and they're really confident about it. And you're like, well, hang on, if you can say that shit, like which essentially means nothing.
It means nothing. And sorry to be very gender, but they are men and they have just fallen upwards.
Yeah,
you know?
because the thick women are too self-aware and are like, oh, okay, I've got to learn. You know, I need to. I'm worried. Like, just whereas thick men are just like, yeah, I'll just say it loudly.
I couldn't believe it, the stuff they were saying. And I would be like, oh, that sounds insane, but it can't be because he said it. And then I was like, oh no, you are. You're awful.
Yeah.
You're awful and you're thick. And weirdly, it is the same advice that I tell people, again, not very specific, not very relatable, getting into stand-up comedy.
Oh, good. Yes.
But I do think it is, I'm going to extrapolate it out universally.
Please.
What I say to people who want to do stand-up comedy is I say, find the weirdest open mic gig you possibly can.
Go to the shittest comedian.
Go to the shittest gig. If you're going to watch live at the Apollo, like whatever, obviously you're going to be like, oh my God, that's what stand-up is. If you go to, comedy rat butts or whatever.
Comedy rat butts?
Yeah. And the picture is a rat and it's his butt.
Great.
And he's got the microphone to his butt. That's the poster.
Good. Okay, yeah, I like that.
So comedy rat butts
it's above a pub.
Monday nights, midnight.
Starts at midnight.
Oh yeah. It's an awful gig. It's till 4 a.m. But like go to that gig and see who's getting up, men, and be like, oh wow, okay, if this is the bar, like, yeah, I can clear that. I can do that. And so just identifying the person in the room who isn't actually very good is going to be such a useful thing for you to be like, oh, okay, they're doing it. And
don't compare yourself to other people's finished products. Compare yourself to like people starting out as well. Like 'cause even like a work in progress, or even like seeing someone who's like a genius. Because people will often be, not just in comedy, but at any point will be inspired by the most fully formed version of that thing.
Totally.
So like, I want to be like, if you want to get to take like, oh, I want to be like Steve Jobs. You're like, cool. the genius.
Yeah.
Like, okay, why don't you look at other people who are lower down and like start there, and then you can keep going. Like,
yeah, or look at like some of Steve Jobs' early work, or Steve Jobs' inventions that didn't work, or like things
Did he
that.
have any?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my God. You
must.
Me one, but no. Okay.
I don't know any, Stevie.
Of course. We've got stuff to do.
Come on.
But I bet he made some shit. Okay, great.
Or like there'll just be things that like didn't work out perfectly, or like
so you see, it's not like a straight line from A to B. See, he woke up and went, the Apple Mac.
Exactly.
And then that was it. Like, no, there was
such a long learning curve. Like,
was actually Steve Jobs, a man who I know so little about.
It was surprising.
But I was just thinking, like, what's another thing that
he's come up twice today as well, because you brought him up about dressing the same every day.
Yeah, I do. I like to Steve Jobs. It's better than saying Mark Zuckerberg, isn't it?
But he doesn't dress the same every day.
I think he does, doesn't he? Didn't he say he likes to wear like a t-shirt and like when he was doing Facebook?
Ugh.
I don't know. I've probably just like merged.
But I do think Steve Jobs, by and large, seems to be quite a good egg.
I don't know.
Tough, isn't it?
Tough call.
Ooh, guys, do write in and tell us
like
if Steve Jobs
one film about
with Kate
him.
Winslet.
I don't know. Michael Fassbender.
Yeah,
Steve
it's Kate
Jobs.
Winslet.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Is it?
God.
Yeah.
I feel like he was fine, but maybe that's Michael Fassbender who's bad.
And maybe they wanted to make him look nice because he'd paid for the movie. We don't know anything about Steve Jobs, but what we do know for sure, he's definitely dead.
He's definitely dead, number one.
1-to-1.
No. 1-to-1.
1-to-1. I've had a 1-to-1 with Steve Jobs.
He was
and
fine.
he said, I've got a litany of failed inventions, broken bits, things that didn't work, mistakes, like they will all be in there.
Focus on the reality rather than the finished product of someone that you're inspired by.
Exactly right. You don't ever get to see all the, all the
stuff that doesn't work.
You see a comedian, you don't get to see the hundreds of gigs where they bombed terribly, or
There's
like a joke didn't work, or
like there's an actor who, and she did it a while back, and I loved it. And I don't know who the actor was, where she wrote it, or what's going on in my life. But
I can't believe we're ending this podcast. It's so useful and filled with well-researched.
Like, we'll do one
advice.
final one, and it'll be like all like a culmination.
At one point, we said you don't have to listen to the other ones because this one will be so good. It's got everything in it.
Go and listen.
I don't know who she is, what she's done, or anything about her. But I will say this.
I will say this
confidently.
She's an actor, and she was in something. I don't know what it is, obviously, but she each year. She went through a period of time where she would list every part that she didn't get.
Oh.
And it was that she'd auditioned for. And she'd even put like, I did like 5 rounds for this, or like, I didn't even get a recall.
Is she famous?
For this. Yes.
Okay.
Oh God, don't know.
You don't know if she's famous or you do?
No, as in I don't know, like, I don't know if she I don't think she's like A-list like famous, but then like she's working constantly and she's in stuff. Like you would know her face. But yeah, I thought that was really great. And there was a writer on Substack who would do that as well. They would say like, books they published a book and it was like all of the publishers who'd said no, and not only that they said no, why they said no, and the book had done really well, and it was like oh, how interesting that like they thought that it was unsellable and that people wouldn't buy it, but then actually someone, so you kind of see all the kind of, and like there's a journalist called Marie Leconte, I think her name is, but she will at one point also put like like pictures that just didn't make it anywhere, or things that did, and it's nice to see. It's just nice to see the actual whole picture sometimes, because you just presume that you only see the kind of finished product of everybody. So yeah, that's my tip.
It's a good one.
Just to say, sorry,
it's been 2 hours.
We have 15 minutes left on the card in this
yes.
camera.
We're ready.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. We'll wrap it up
by me.
Comedy rap butts.
Comedy rap butts.
A real high point.
I will see your woman that we don't know.
Oh yeah.
And raise you, I think, Ira Glass, but might not be, with a quote I'm gonna make up. And I think
if it's nothing tastes as good as Skinny Feels, I'll be very angry.
It is that. No, it's that when you get into making, you start making something, whatever it is, because that is a field or a product that you enjoy, be that making bridges or actual bridges, or being an engineer, being an architect, being a chef, being a comedian, trying out the rap butts. Whatever it is your field is because you are passionate about that field. And so when you look upon your first creation, you also, you get into that. Once again, Ira, here we come. You have got into that field because you are passionate about that field, but also because you have excellent taste.
Yes.
in bridges or food or fashion, whatever the thing is. And therefore, when you look upon your first product, you are judging it against your own taste and you will find it lacking. And so that is not a marker that you should stop. That is a marker that you have great taste and passion, and therefore you should plow on and keep going. Because that is the thing that will kill you in the beginning, is looking at it being like, this is shit.
Yeah,
this is so shit. And it's like, yeah, because you've got great taste. So just remember that if you thought your thing was good, that would actually be much worse.
Yeah, of course, because then you're never going to improve.
You'll never improve.
You know, that's great. So, okay, to summarize.
Please.
Okay, okay.
Here we go.
When you're doing, so when, confidence in yourself, when you are when you're throwing a party, hosting, do what you want to do. You'll be pulled in loads of different directions. A lot of good wedding specific advice there that you brought. But then also like, don't collapse underneath the pressure of what you've created in terms of the party. Sure.
And surround yourself with people who will catch the collapse.
Yes, of course. Then, when you're sad about something or stressed about something, it's often not about that thing. It's often like a deeper thing. So always interrogate yourself as to whether like, is it this? Do I not like baths? I wish I hadn't used that example.
No, it's a good one. It's the crucial one. It's the big one.
It's the big one. People pleasing and assertiveness. You can criticise in a nice way.
Yes.
Is that my tip?
Yeah, it is. Is it criticise? You can
say what you need.
Say what you need.
Yeah, it's not
doesn't have to be a criticism.
No, you can just be honest and say what you need.
You can correct. You can
correct. Go to book a restaurant.
Book a restaurant, mate. Pick one.
Just pick one.
Pick one
fine.
For God's sake. Yeah.
Really struggling now.
Thinking of more things.
That we said in tips.
Bring a shit man to work.
Bring a shit man to work, or identify a current shit man. Ideally
identify. You can't pay to bring another man to work.
Bring
Jesus
a man
Christ,
that's illegal apparently.
Yeah.
The leading. Don't compare yourself to a finished product of something, because always look at the process, and then you will feel more like, oh yeah, I can do that. Ira Glass or not.
I have one final thing.
Oh yes, thank God, because that's quite sparse in terms of advice.
I don't think there's any advice in this episode.
No, there's not.
It's just a nice chat.
It's a nice chat, for God's sake.
The last thing was about our episode, how to move to a different country.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've done it, can you believe?
Oh, my God, of course, yeah.
And
it was useless, that episode.
I listened, I was like, who are these women? They know nothing. No, it's actually quite helpful, that one. But I do have a thing to add to it, is that something I started doing was sending voice notes. I put people on something, you can make something called a dispatch list on WhatsApp. And I made a sort of monthly, did a little voice note in the form of a podcast. You don't have to do that part.
Yeah, you would sort of introduce.
It would begin by being like, it would say, this is Audible, a personal podcast. And then I would say, hello and welcome to the podcast. Right. And then I would sort of catch people up. But it was really, really nice to do it, to keep people like up to date on the news. No one had to listen to it, but people did. And sometimes people sent them back in the form of voice notes. But it just felt like I was in communication with people as a group, because sometimes it felt overwhelming to like call individual people with news or like, you know, and I was like, I didn't really have it in me to like have a big long conversation with people, but I did want to like, I wanted to be in people's lives.
Of course, yeah.
And I wanted them to tell me their news.
Yeah.
And it was just, I've really found it invaluable. So I offer that to you, should you be in a different country or far away from people, or, you know, doing something far away from.
Do like a broadcast list voice note on podcast-wise. Also, if someone is, I've learned if someone's not well or in hospital or you're close to them, do little podcasts for them.
Oh.
I did sleep stories when my mum wasn't well in hospital, and then my sister and me did like ones for my dad recently as well, and like just to kind of like make the processes like a bit more fun. So then they've got, because in hospital it's crap and you don't want to do it, like you can't really concentrate on anything.
No,
but you can listen. It's nice to listen to like people that you love doing a stupid podcast episode based on like it's The Ward, the Ward podcast.
Oh, that's so nice. What happened on the Ward podcast?
Oh, lots of things. We had like sports. We had like so my husband is really into American sports, and like it was like transfer season for like American football. So he did like a whole thing for her to listen to while she fell asleep, while he just like talked about transfers.
Oh my God, that's so
like,
nice.
I thought I found it quite interesting. He was like, okay.
That is lovely.
Yeah, it was really nice. And then we'd have like interviews, but it would just be like her friends, like people that we know. And then my tortoise did one, and then her tortoise did one apologising because she was in my mum's tortoise. My tortoise's sister is my sister's tortoise, but my sister moved to Australia, and my parents now looking after her tortoise. That tortoise is sort of the reason, part of why she had like a bit of a fall, because she was doing something with the tortoise. So I got the tortoise to apologise.
Oh no!
Did an official apology. So yeah, like just stuff like.
How does the tortoise talk?
Oh, I think she was silent, and I would translate. So I put the mic really close, and you could hear her shell like moving around. I'd be like, that means this, and yeah.
And you translated it.
I translated, yeah. Very fun.
That's really good.
Yeah,
that's so nice.
That's like quite a fun thing to do, and also it's a nice thing too because you feel like you're doing something helpful as well, even though it is silly. Like it is, you are actually helping. It's quite hard to know what to do and how to help when someone's like, I'm in hospital. You're like, I don't know what that. I've never really been in hospital for a long period of time, touch wood. So like, what's that feel like? Like, all that.
What a lovely thing to do.
Yeah.
Ugh, I really do think the WhatsApp voice note is one of the greatest inventions of our time. Thank you, Steve Jobs.
Thank you, Steve Jobs.
Another good invention among your litany of crap ones.
Yeah.
Total shit. And I do think, let's use it. Let's stay in communication.
Let's stay in communication. I think maybe that's what we should end on.
I think so.
Let's stay in communication. Nobody panic. Stay in communication.
Yeah.
It's been nice to do a final episode.
We do always say, don't we? Like, I always say something to the tune of, don't ever get, like, you could be in the film Moon. In the film Moon, he's been up there for ages and they're just sending him, he's not actually real.
Oh, that's a bit of a spoiler.
Spoiler. Sorry, it came out ages ago.
Yeah.
I don't know if he is or isn't real. Either way, he's watching videos that they're not live. He can't communicate with people.
Yes.
They just I'm like, make sure you didn't have a moon day, you know?
Okay.
You actually had a conversation with a real person, you know?
Oh, yes. And this is good.
This is good.
This is good. Stay in communication because you don't be in Moon.
Don't be Moon. You've got one life. Come on. Do nice things with it.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. We can't.
Also, let's just thank you so much.
I think we're really dragging it at the end because we don't want to say goodbye.
Thank you so much for everyone who has listened and sent us messages. And I've been doing a tour recently, and so many people come up and say, well, I really enjoyed Nobody Panic. I quit my job because of your house quit your job episode. You're like, oh, that's too much pressure.
It works.
No, don't do that. But also do
live your life.
Quit your job.
For God's sake,
you're
quit
not in Moon, are you?
You hate it.
but also, yes, thank you.
Quit your job, mate.
And we've had a lovely time. I don't know what camera
it has been an honour.
It's been an honour.
It really has. It's been an honour. It's lovely to do it. I cannot believe that us ill-equipped and ill-researched has been of any use to anybody. So it's so nice, and it's a pleasure to meet you when you say things to us.
She's going to cry, so we have to stop.
No,
let's go have a late lunch.
Oh, let's have a late lunch.
Have a late lunch now. Okay.
We're ladies who late lunch.
Goodbye.
Thank you so much and goodbye.